Ay, ngayong buwan ng Setyembre ay ginugunita rin ang Maritime and Archipelagic Nation Awareness Month o MANAMO sa pangunguna ng Maritime and Ocean Affairs Office ng Department of Foreign Affairs. Ang selebrasyong ito ay isang paraan upang mabigyan po ng kalaman ang publiko sa mga isyong kinakarap ng bansa patungkol sa ating mga karagatan.
At bilang mga Pilipino na naninirahan sa archipelagong bansa, mahalagang maging maalam po tayo sa kasalukuyang estado ng ating karagatan at mga yaman nito. At para mas mabigyan pa ng linaw ang usaping yan, makakapanayam natin ngayong umaga si Dr. Emmanuel Fernandez, Executive Director ng Maritime and Ocean Affairs Office mula po sa Department of Foreign Affairs. Magandang umaga po, Dr. Fernandez.
Magandang umaga sa iyo, Dayan, sa inyong lahat dyan, at sa mga viewers ninyo, magandang umaga po.
Opo, Dr. Fernandez, magandang umaga po. Ano po itong MANAMO 2020? Can you tell us more about this, Dr. Fernandez?
Yes, Aljo, tulad ng nasabi mo kanina, ang MANAMO ay isang month-long celebration of the fact na ang Pilipinas ay isang archipelago. At marami ito, malawak yung ating maritime territory at yung ating resources dyan napakamahalaga. So it's a celebration of the wonderful fact that although we are composed of several islands, more than 7,000, we are one nation richly blessed in terms of marine territory and maritime resources.
Okay, Dr. Fernandez, since we are celebrating Maritime and Archipelagic Nation Awareness, I want to know, Dr. Fernandez, how will you assess yung level of awareness and appreciation nating mga Pilipino pagdating sa usapin ng maritime territory and us living in archipelagic nation, sir?
That's a very good question, Dayan, no? Kasi actually yun ang dahilan kung bakit napagpasyahan natin na maglaan ng isang buwan kada taon para mapalawak yung kamalayan ng ating mga mamamayan tungkol sa ating maritime inheritance, ika nga, no? Ang assessment kasi natin, marami pa sa ating mga kababayan ang hindi masyadong alam kung gaano kayaman ng Pilipinas, kung ang pinag-uusapan ay yung lawak ng kanyang karagatan at yung mga yaman na laman nito. And therefore, there's a need to enhance that awareness to make our Filipinos, fellow Filipinos appreciate how rich we are. And of course, hand in hand with appreciation is the awareness of the obligation to protect and to preserve this maritime inheritance for future generations of Filipinos.
Opo, Dr. Fernandez, bakit ba tayo dapat ipagmalaki na isang archipelagic nation ang Pilipinas? And gaano po kalaki? How large exactly ito pong maritime territory ng Pilipinas bilang archipelago?
Alam mo, Aljo, we really need to be appreciative of the fact na archipelago tayo. Kasi maraming bansa tinatawag nating landlocked. Wala silang connection at all sa oceans or seas. No? There are about 44 of such countries in the world. No? And 5 others which are partially landlocked. Wala silang connection sa dagat. In the case of the Philippines, we're actually a country composed of more than 7,000 islands, and we're surrounded by water on all sides. No? And if you look at the Philippines from the sky, makikita mo kung gaano kalawak yung ating maritime territory. No? Yung ating tinatawag na internal waters at yung waters within our archipelagic baselines, ang size niyan, Aljo, is twice the size of our land territory. Ganyan kalawak yung ating maritime inheritance. And beyond that, under the so-called UNCLOS, yung United Nations Law of the Sea, meron pa tayong karagdagang teritoryo. Meron tayong territorial sea, meron tayong contiguous zone, merong exclusive economic zone, at may extended continental shelf. Ganong kalawak yung ating maritime territory. At ang resources dyan, valueless, Anjo, no? Yung fish species natin, yung mga corals, reefs, they are invaluable. And that's even an understatement.
Okay, Dr. Fernandez, you've mentioned a while ago that we have this obligation to protect and preserve itong ating maritime inheritance. And lagi nating sinasabi, hindi lang naman ito from the authorities, it's always a shared responsibility. How do you think we Filipinos could contribute to that protection para ito pong ma-preserve din natin itong ating maritime inheritance, Dr. Fernandez?
Yes, Diane, that's a very good question. Kasi we need to think of concrete things to do. Now, first of all, in my opinion, you cannot protect and preserve something if you don't know how valuable it is. First, you need to be aware na may halaga ito. And then, automatically, spontaneously, you will find some ways in order to help preserve it. So, ang unang-unang hakbang para sa akin obligasyon ng bawat Pilipino ang malaman kung gaano kalawak, kung gaano kahalaga yung ating maritime inheritance. No? And there are many ways of doing that. No? During the pandemic, we have all the time, we're at home most of the time. We can search the internet. Sa halip na kung ano-ano yung tinitignan natin sa internet, we can look for mga links that will give us information about our maritime inheritance as a country. No? I requested si Jake na mag-flash sa inyong screen ng mga website links na pwedeng mabisita ng mga viewers ninyo. No? I hope we could have the chance to show that. Kasi sabi ko nga, first you need to know how valuable your inheritance is. And then you will find ways to protect it. Beyond that, of course, maraming mga simple bagay na pwede natin gawin. No? First of all, we need to know na ang marine environment is connected to the land environment. No? So kung hindi tayo careful, yung pollution, halimbawa, we're not very conscious of the fact that we're polluting the environment. Ultimately, that pollution will flow into the maritime territory of the Philippines. So, yung awareness na the things we do, our behavior in terms of wastage, no, may epekto yan sa ating marine environment. Pero I go back to my earlier point, protection begins with awareness of how valuable the inheritance that you are trying to protect.
Sa pagkikipag-ugnayan sa iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan, Dr. Fernandez, sa pangangalaga at pagprotekta ng ating pong maritime inheritance, paano po natin ito mas ipapalagana pa para bantayan ang ating karagatan bilang archipelagic nation laban sa mga illegal poachers at ilang pang mga intrusions, Dr. Fernandez?
Totoo yan, Aljo, it needs a whole-of-nation approach. Ang DFA ay isa lamang sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno na nakatutok sa objective na ito. No? But there are many other government offices, iba-iba yung mandates namin, kaya iba-iba rin yung paraan namin para ma-enhance yung awareness ng ating mamamayan tungkol sa ating maritime inheritance at ma-encourage sila kung paano ito maprotektahan. No? You talked about, for example, the other agencies like BFAR, yung National Coach Quest Center, etc., etc. Lahat sila nakatutok dyan. No? It's a whole-of-nation approach that we're trying to do. Kanya-kanyang aktibidades, pero isang layunin. At ang layunin na yan ay yung mas lalong palawakin natin yung awareness at saka yung appreciation ng mamamayang Pilipino sa ating manang pangkaragatan. No? Incidentally, I would like to point out na yung word na mana mo, actually, sa Tagalog, pag tin-translate mo yan,
Thank you very much and good morning again, Dr. Fernandez.
Stay safe po, Dr. Fernandez.
thank you so much too. Thank you and good morning sa inyong lahat.